What's good, YouTube? Big 50 TV here. Today we're gonna be reacting to why NBA legends think Kevin McHale was unguardable. But before we get into the video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and keep dropping recommendations down in the comments. Let's get into it.
And he still scored.
Celtics are going to stay with what got him here.
This is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fan, what's up? Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean Davis.
Hey, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. My name is Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk some old school NBA basketball. In today's episode, I want to take a look at NBA legends talking about how good Kevin McHale was, the great Boston Celtics player that unfortunately could have been even better, but because he was a sixth man, I think he didn't get the credit that he deserves, but that's what we're going to take a look at in this video. Let's get right into it. Now, the first two players' opinion that we're going to take a look at are from Dr. J and Bill Walton. Bill Walton obviously played with Kevin McHale, and Dr. J had his rivalries with Kevin. Let's have a look.
This guy's mind, his creative imagination, his skill set, his footwork, his touch, his shooting, and then his trash talk. It was just absolutely incredible.
He was a tremendous opponent to have too, with those big square shoulders, and as awkward as he might have seemed sometimes on the court, he always knew where he was going and he knew what he was doing. And he was probably the most feared guy in Boston by the 76ers. We played them. I knew if I beat Bird or Maxwell, McHale was going to beat it. Kevin wasn't afraid to take a shot at you. He was a critical piece to the puzzle. And there were many nights when he was the MVP of Boston.
So one night we're playing against the Celtics, and McHale really has it going, and he's torching our power forwards, Kent Vinson, Earl Cureton, and finally he started saying he's got these guys in the torture chamber. So every time they would enter the basketball into him, he would holler chamber, like he got him in a torture chamber, and it's too late. So I was coming back to double like.
But it seems like everybody back then was always talking trash. Like that's all they did. All the good players talk trash, right?
He got him in a torture chamber, and it's too late. So I was coming back to double team, and he was looking down at me shooting like, you're too late, there's nothing you can do about this.
Now, the next player's opinion that we're going to take a look at is from a former teammate and obviously one of the greatest players of all time, Larry Bird. Let's take a look what he has to say.
Talk about Olajuwon and all the other great ones. They're great, but Kevin was as good as anybody I've ever seen. He probably gave up more than anybody. He didn't demand it. He liked his shot.
Man, look at his footwork, man.
He didn't demand it. He liked his shot.
Wow, that was a heck of a play.
Yeah, I think everybody, when you play in a really good team, everybody sacrifices for each other but it's not a sacrifice. It's just that if Robert had it going, which he did many nights, he just got the ball. If Robert and Larry had it going, I just knew I wasn't going to get as many shots. No big deal. The next night might be my night. We got ours. And our goal was that one more point than the other.
When I got there,
And he wasn't unselfish. He knew if he was on, he was gonna get it. But most other times, either Larry or Robert Parrish. Great six man, great.
was like the sixth man, so he was coming off the bench. Every once in a while he would start, but he had a routine. Shoot around, he would sit on the sideline. Larry was screaming like, "Kevin, get your butt up and have a shoot around." He would tell everybody, "Hey, you want it now at 10 o'clock or do you want it at 7 o'clock? You tell me which one you want." I only give it to you once a day. It's okay. I'm like, I can't say that. I'm a rookie. You know, I'm like, can't say that, you know?
Kevin Mchale taught me more about basketball, I would say, than any big man coach. The way he would move his body, lean, you ever see it looks like his body is halfway leaned over and halfway down, but his head is up here. It's just a weird look. And how he would spin, catch you, make you go up, lean under you, get under you, make you foul. You know, once he caught the ball, you were at his mercy. So, the best.
Based on off his body type, he does not look like no basketball player. He's long, lanky. He has kind of like a big upper body. His arms are super, super skinny. He does not look like a basketball player, but he putting moves on these guys. Post work is crazy.
Got the best post moves in all of basketball, the best footwork in all of basketball.
And this storied history of tremendous rivalry in professional basketball takes on a new chapter. The Philadelphia 76ers versus the Boston Celtics.
He'd get out there, and you have this wingspan. I might as well just take a jump shot. He's all the way down here.
When you're talking about signature moves, Kevin McHale, and the Dream Shake, Hakeem Olajuwon.
I think they're the two best. They're two, and I played many years against both of those guys. And Kevin McHale, it got to the point where they were calling him a man of 1,000 moves. Could not guard him one-on-one on the box because he had such great footwork, and he did a great job of feeling the contact. And once he felt you, you were done. If the double team didn't come right away, forget about it. He had too much stuff on the box.
My personal nemesis is Kevin McHale because he's the best player I ever played against. You could not stop
him. Barkley, best player. He possibly up there. He is up there with Larry, but he came off the bench though, which is crazy.
Forget about it. He had too much stuff on the box.
My personal nemesis is Kevin McHale because he's the best player I ever played against. You could not stop him. I've always said that you could not stop that guy. And on the other end, I had to use every ounce of energy I did to score on him. That guy, when I looked at, because we all look at the schedule, we're like, okay, I can have some fun that night. Better get a good night's sleep that night. I mean, we all say the same thing about different guys, but Kevin McHale is the best player I played against because he was unstoppable offensively, and he gave me nightmares on defense against.
Golly. Those are not six-man numbers. A double-double average 21 and 11. Those are not your average six-man numbers. Six-man average like, say about 15, 16. So he averaging almost 6 points more than average. That's starter numbers, really. In these finals against Charles Barkley.
Because he was unstoppable offensively, and he gave me nightmares on defense.
One of the great power forwards that have ever played in the NBA.
Kevin, he was a gamer. He was an ultimate gamer. You throw the ball to him, he might not get it back because he can score on anybody. He won't throw it back to you. It's called a black hole for a reason. But he was one of the best scorers in the post, all the moves. And Daryl Dawkins, his name is Dunks. Kevin McHale's name is Moves. You know, he had one called Slippery Hill. He had one called Jake and Jake. He had so many names for moves. And to be able to score anytime you want with the tenacity.
Both KG and Kevin, because two guys who were great in the low post, and obviously one was a mentor to the other, McHale being to Garnett. Right. You know, how prevalent will the low post game be in the next 5 years? You know, we see all the stretch fours, and we talk about.
And he played defense. And he could shoot mid-range. He got a nice fadeaway too, man.
Low post game be in the next 5 years? You know, we see all the stretch fours, and we talk about it all the time, but here are two guys that were sitting down there. You know, obviously Diesel is one of them as well, but we're talking about guys who the skill was magnificent over the power. So what do you two guys think that's going to happen in the next 5 years?
When you think about the poster being a big man, pounding physical presence, and then all of a sudden around
the 80s, you start to see, the Kevin McHale's, the Jack Sigmas, the Charles Barkley's, Adrian Dantley's, guys that took the post and took a finesse kind of approach to it.
But there's one name that's too often left off the list. The name of a guy who routinely gave some of the greatest to ever lace him up. The business.
I have no idea why, because he wasn't very athletic, but for some reason, he knew all the little tricks, and he drove me crazy when I played against him. Like he kicked my.
Metro presents a tale of two wireless customers.
I've been a loyal customer since today.
Forever.
Which means I get all the deals.
Absolutely no deal.
It's like.
But more probably than any player that I played against.
As I was growing up, when we was playing against the Celtics would come in and, they knew they was going to beat us no matter how we start the game.
In Chicago, the Celtics against the Bulls. Kevin McHale, look at this great pass to Robert Parrish. McHale himself had 31 points on the night. He said he was so sure that they were going to beat the Bulls, he said he didn't even bring a change of clothes.
They just...
Trash talk is crazy.
For the Celtics against the Bulls, Kevin McHale, look at this great pass to Robert Parrish. McHale himself had 31 points on the night. He said he was...
And he had feel. He was aware of all his surroundings. Pass. That was a great cut, too. But God, Lee, he knew he was that guy. He knew it.
So sure that they were going to beat the Bulls, he said he didn't even bring a change of clothes.
They just knew we were going to fold and they wouldn't come back and beat us. Kevin McHale would talk more trash than anybody's ever seen, and Bird as well. But they knew they were going to win.
As we go to break, a little trash talking. What did you used to tell people in Game 7 or in closeout games when they were in
I don't
Boston?
even want to hear it. I used to tell them all the time. I said, look, now, when we get done tonight, just shut off the lights. Because you know what? This game's over. And then when the closeout game, I used to always tell Johnny Lucas, I said, John, you know where the lights are in this place? First time, he said, what for? I said, because, we're getting ready to shut the lights off on this place. So you tell them before the game.
I got one of those, right? Closeout game. I'm going up. It's about maybe 5 seconds to go in the game. I go up to shoot. Miguel goes, all right, that is your last shot of the season. I hope you make it.
He averaged 26.
Your last shot of the season.
I hope you make it.
He averaged 26 points a game while shooting 60% from the floor and 80% from the line. You know how many NBA...
Bro, he could shoot. Free throws, too. You know how rare it is? Big man can shoot free throws. This man was a complete player, bro. And he came off the bench. They were so good, he came off the bench.
NBA players have averaged 20 or more points, shot 60% from the floor and 80% from the stripe in the same season. One, Kevin McHale.
So how good was Kevin McHale in my opinion? Well, as I said in the beginning of the video, I think that if he wasn't a sixth man for a period of his time, I think he would have gotten a lot more appreciation because this guy was insane. And I'm not only talking about his great post game, his basketball IQ, this guy was a sensational basketball player and definitely belonged in the top 50, rightfully so. So Kevin McHale, you are great in my books. All right, you guys, that was it for today's episode. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you next time on the Basketball Time Machine.
Alright, guys, thanks for watching the video. Kevin McHale was an unbelievable player, bro. Again, I never watched none of these players growing up. Anybody in the 80s or 90s never watched growing up. Early 2000s is when I started watching it. Obviously, because I was born in 1999. But I just never went back and watched this play. They were so good. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Keep dropping recommendations down in the comments. We out.